Welcome to the Wealth Defenders with Terry Cox. It's the show about getting your money right. And if you are a longtime listener, a longtime viewer, you already know it's time to get your money right if you haven't already. And we help you with that every week with tips to make sure your retirement is as golden and fun and effortless as it should be. Because Terry, I think that's the key, right?
That is the key. Yeah, you don't want any drama or surprises when it comes to retirement.
No, at least I don't. I mean, I think of retirement like a nice cushiony chair. You know that feeling you get when you come home and it's time to sink into that recliner?
Yeah.
See, that's what I want. I want a big cushiony chair to sink into. What I don't want, though, is like a hard wooden kind of chair they have at coffee shops that hurts your butt. That would be a very uncomfortable retirement right there. That's not what we want at all.
No, I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So I'm so glad we talk about giving people that cushion because there's so much you got to account for these days. As you say every week, inflation, market volatility, all this stuff. And then, of course, the risk. There's a lot of risk out there these days.
Yeah, there is. And you think about retirement, we may step into retirement, but all these other factors don't retire. Risk doesn't retire. Inflation doesn't retire. So all these crazy things.
Yeah. Very good point.
So even though as you step into retirement or you get into that retirement red zone and you're to the point where you're de-risking your portfolio, that's great. That's fantastic. But you're still going to need a growth component to the portfolio just to make sure you can make it through the entire retirement because we're living longer. Longevity is a new risk.
That's it.
Yeah. Because I know several people that have now lived into their early 90s, late 90s. And you think about that. If you take a retirement, what if you retire early? What if you're these guys that are retired at 55?
Right.
And you lived to 95? That's a whole new spin,
yeah.
Right? Or even if you go from 62 to 92, that's you could spend 30 or 40 years in retirement these days.
That's right. And this really hits home for me because, Terry, as you know, I'm a millennial. And
yes.
The running gag, the joke among millennials is that we'll just die before we retire. It's just easier that way because things are looking kind of grim.
Yeah.
But the principle there is it's true. If you do not plan for that long life, then you really might run out of money in retirement. And that's not what you want to do. I mean, I saw this figure the other day, and I believe it said that 2 out of 10 people retirement age are still working. And that number is increased since, I believe, 1980. Okay. So, I mean, think about those 2 people that have to be greeters at Walmart while their other 8 cohorts are enjoying their lives. I don't want to be part of that 2% right there. Or those 2 people right there.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because, we get one shot at this. We all get to run our race. And we're all in different stages of our race.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to give yourself as much runway as you can early on. Just so you can have that longevity and the compounding interest. We talked about that before on the show, but the earlier you get those dollars working for you, the bigger that nest egg is going to be
right
when you get to the end. And you know what? Then you get to live life on your own terms, right? You've done what you had to do. Now you can do what you want to do. And that's the way it should be.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And hopefully at that point, you know what you want to do. And we talk about this on the show too. You know what you want to do. Search your heart. Find out what you would do if there were no constraints, because that's a big part of retirement. Because a lot of people, as you say, Terry, they've never had real freedom before. They've never had the option just to do whatever their heart desires. So if you don't know yourself, it might be a difficult time for you.
We did the retirement planning calculator the one time.
Yeah.
And talked about just saving a little bit of money over a 30 or 40 year time period. What that nest egg grows to. But if you miss 2 or 3 years, it knocks off like significant amounts of dollars off of what you could have had. So it's all very important. And then when you get to a certain point, now you're like, hey, I've got a ton of growth in my portfolio. Now, let's say you're one of the people that have done well, and now you're ready to start de-risking and putting things into your portfolio like personal pensions, like a fixed income annuity or something that's going to create income that you can never outlive. You can put into play long-term care policies. You can cover all of those bases. And you can do it right out of your nest egg. So when we're doing our planning sessions with clients, the first one, I just tell people dream, go big. Tell me what you want to do. And from there, we can plan things out. Where are you right now? What is it going to take to get you there? And how much time do we have? And can we do it? So
Love this.
yeah, sometimes we have to tweak it, but sometimes people are spot on, and I've actually had people when we were going through our retirement planning tools that they thought they knew what the number was. But when we got them in there and we sat down, they were actually better than they thought they were. In several cases last year, we moved up retirement ages by 2 or 3 years for people. Yeah, it's incredible.
That's the best case scenario right there. You find out you've been doing the right thing the whole time, and you can clock out even earlier because of all that stuff. And that's great, because what a tragedy it would be to know that to not know that you had all this money and all these opportunities, but you were really playing it safe, playing it too safe. So you never got to really enjoy as much as you could. And this is why I love what you do, because there's this financial fog of war that just seems to hang in the air for people like me. I mean, most people, but you eradicate all that fog. So everything is clear. You know exactly where you are, where you can go, and what you can do between those 2 points right there. I love that.
And people get sidetracked by a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It could be life, it could be family, it could be politics, it could be whatever.
That's true.
But if I can get you to sit down with me, we can forget about all of that stuff, set all that stuff aside, and let's just concentrate on you. Because in reality, we can talk about the economy, we can talk about world affairs, but at the end of the day, there's only one economy that matters, and that's yours.
That's right.
This is your race. You're taking the time to get up every morning and go to work. What's it for? Let's figure it out, right? And then it's been cool for me sitting on this side of the desk and watch people step into retirement. People do some phenomenal things.
Sure.
I actually had a couple people that they're like type A personalities that wrote their first business plan when they're like 14 or 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
And they got ready for retirement, and they hadn't really digested what is this going to mean for me. A couple guys went back to work. They retired, and like 3 months in, they're like, whoa, what have I done? And so they had to like reevaluate, okay, what do I want when I stop working? Do I have hobbies? What do I want to do? Do I want to get involved in charities? What is it? So it's kind of cool. We've got people that like to take time to go on cruises. I actually have one couple that wanted to travel the world, and they wanted to figure out how to do it.
Ooh, okay.
So they came across a company called International Pet Sitters.
Pet sit, okay.
So this is how they travel the world. They became pet sitters. So they go on the calendars, and people all over the world are looking for somebody to come to their house and watch their animals while they go on vacation. So these people will go, and when they go to Europe, the people in Europe don't, they don't go away for the weekend. They go away for the month, right?
Long time.
So these people stay in these great houses and nice neighborhoods and take care of the animals. And now they get to live like locals. They're going to like local restaurants. They're not hitting all the touristy shops or anything like that. And they're actually spending less money traveling the world than they were when they were staying in town. It's amazing.
I love this. What a wonderful, happy ending for this couple right here. And I don't think they would have known about this or been able to really fully realize this without some outside input to help them get there. That's the key right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's really been a great experience for me too, to watch the different reactions when people actually retire and how they handle it. So it's helped me kind of put a perspective on things, because I'm probably 2/3 of the way through my race right now. So,
Right.
So now I'm trying to figure out, okay, as I idle down, what's that going to look like?
Sure.
So it's been great for me to kind of watch this as well. But at the end of the day, if you're going to take the time to get up every morning, go to work, put something behind it. Let's get a plan, and let's make sure that you can do what you want to do when that time comes.
Yes. And to me, this is the biggest value proposition of them all because we love to say, subscribe to the podcast. We love to say, hey, call this number. We love to say, check out the website. But a lot of people don't realize when it comes to getting your money right with Terry, it's not just about money. It's about really allowing you to grab hold of that dream.
Absolutely.
And live that. And maybe you don't even know what that dream is, but Terry can help you get closer to what your heart is really desiring. And that's, to me, that's worth picking up the phone just to talk.
Absolutely. Because it looks so different for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think we get intimidated as people because we'll go to work and somebody will say, oh, I bought this stock and it did whatever. And it's kind of funny because nobody ever talks about the stocks that they buy that went the other way. Everything's the home run, right?
Yeah.
So I think we kind of get intimidated by that going, man, maybe I should be doing this. I don't know how to do it. What is it? What does it mean? Doesn't matter. You know, it might be for you and it might not, but let's find out, you know, and let's have those conversations, you know, and we also walk through a risk tolerance questionnaire with people as we're getting started and saying, you know, what's your comfort level? Do you want to go on these crazy rides with the stock market every time it goes up and down, or do you want to have something nice and smooth and a little less volatile? And you know, because sometimes that helps people sleep at night, and that's the key element too. You don't want to be sweating out your investments, you know, every day and every time the news comes on, because every day there's going to be doom and gloom about something. So just turn it off.
Yeah, right.
And think about what's important to you, and let's get you there.
It's so true about the doom and gloom because in a previous life, I did news. That was all I did. And when you get sucked into that news cycle, I tell you, it can be profoundly negative because there's a phrase in broadcasting, if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
And that's just saying that the negative stories get the most press because people just latch onto that stuff more. So it's easy to get in that negative mindset. And that's why I think it's important for us to, you know, counteract that a bit in the finance world because you are better off just buying and holding a lot of times. You're better off just having somebody like Terry say, look, I know the market's going crazy right now, but don't do anything emotional. Don't do anything rash because you're better off if you just hold these assets and ride it out.
Yeah. Particularly if you know why you bought the security in the first place.
Ah, yes.
If you can answer the why question, you can get through anything the market's going to throw at you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these stocks are dividend paying stocks. You know, what if you're living on those dividends? That's providing your income. So why would you sell your income producing stock just because you heard some bad news on the TV or on the news?
That's it.
You know, because that's kind of like owning an annuity without owning an annuity. You own a security that's paying you a dividend, and whether the price is up or down. Because if you think back to 2009, when we were going through the financial crisis.
Yes.
Every day we turned on the news, somebody was cutting dividends, somebody was eliminating dividends. But guess who it was? It was one sector. It was the financial sector. So there's 11 sectors that make up the S&P 500. The other 10, yeah, they were down in value, but they were still, you know, paying their dividends and doing what they were designed to do. So sometimes we have to pay attention to the news. What does it exactly mean? Is it just some hype that's floating around, or how does it actually affect me? So we can talk through that too.
Yes, indeed. And this is the stuff I've been trying to tell my mom because I love her, but she's a very, very conservative and suspicious lady. She will only do CDs as investments. And I said, Mom, we could get you in an annuity and you're going to be making way more. And besides, your CD right now, it's not even covering inflation. So you're not really in a good spot with this product here. But she says, no, I'm worried about the market, blah, blah, blah. And so she's very recalcitrant when it comes to this stuff. But I know there are people like my mom out there who maybe do want to see what's out there. They just need it explained in a way that makes more sense than how somebody like me can explain it. So for anybody out there who really is looking for some guidance, they can definitely get it from you, can't they, Terry?
Yeah, absolutely. I think our website is on the screen right now, but go to our website, tdc.financial. these podcasts that we record. They're on the website. There's other information on the website. So if you see something that you like and you want to talk about it, give us a call, send us an email, and let's start the dialogue.
I love that. Let's definitely have that conversation. The number is on the screen right now. And of course, the website is tdc.financial. Everything you need to get your money right is available through those two conduits, the website and also the phone number as well. No cost, no obligation financial reviews. Also, we encourage you, subscribe to this podcast. They come out pretty much every week, and we're always talking about something fun, wrapping the conversation in tips, talking about money, getting your money right. That's what we do every week, isn't it, Terry?
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of to your point with the CDs and being conservative, the flip side of the coin is you can safely and conservatively go broke. because if you're not keeping up with inflation, that's a problem too. So
Absolutely.
So, I mean, every one of these investments that we talk about, from CDs to stocks to annuities, they all have their place. Let's just figure out how they plug in for you.
Love that. We're going to find that balance together. Well, Terry, I think we're about wrapped up here. Anything you want to say to the people?
Well, I appreciate the time again, Bruce. It's always great catching up with you and talking about these topics. And if anything resonated with the viewers and listeners, let us know. Give us a call. We set aside some appointments every week for you, so let's take advantage of it.
Beautiful. Let's take advantage of that. I'm already looking forward to next week. Terry, we'll see you then. For Terry, this is Bruce signing out. We'll catch you next time on the Wealth Defenders.
Thanks, Bruce. See you.